My name is Kurt Turnier. Pronouns he, him, and his.
My name is Malik Turner, pronoun he, him, and his.
And this is Put
Your
Pride Down.
So
All right.
We don't miss a beat around here, my guy.
What's going on, brother?
Welcome back to the both of us.
What's going on, family? Welcome back. It's been a little minute, but we appreciate you staying locked in with us, and just being patient with us as we are learning to be patient with ourselves.
Yes, and we got to work on the new folks as well. Again, what we call this platform around here, we want to make sure we introduce folks as family, see y'all part of the family, part of the tribe, and take a seat and enjoy this journey with us as we share how we put our pride down, getting closer to God, and just enjoying life to the best of our ability. So
exactly. And then if you are new here, please like, subscribe, share. If there's anything that resonates with you in this conversation, please drop your ideas, comments be below, and throughout the conversation we will be asking you hey, what are your thoughts on certain things. So you have anything else to add to the people?
Nah, that's pretty much it. Right. Again, like you said, thank y'all for y'all support, man. And and like you said, we really want to hear from y'all. You know, some people don't want to really interact too much on social media, and that's totally fine. But in order for us to grow, and also just to hear what y'all want to hear, and also just to make sure we have more of an engagement community, want to make sure y'all can just provide some of y'all perspective as well. But we're not going to force nothing upon nobody. So,
exactly. But all right, but let's hop right into it. Start checking. For those who don't know, we start off with a checking question, and the conversation kind of flows from there. So today's checking question is: when was the last time you did or completed something that was intentional? And just to be real quick, we have 5 pillars that we stand on. They are healing, gratitude, intentionality, spirituality, and overcoming. So all our conversations, they are all grounded in those 5 pillars. So just so that you all have a sense of where conversation usually goes, that's where we usually stay, and that's where we operate in. But so today's conversation is around intentionality. But Malik, you want to go, or you want me to rock out?
Yeah, I went first last time. You go first.
All right. So we're being intentional about who is going when.
Yes, indeed.
But yeah, the last time I did something, so there's 2 things I recently did that was intentional. One was a couple weeks ago. Me and my boys, Drew and Vince. Drew and Vince.
Shout out to Drew and Vince, bro.
Shout out to Drew and Vince. We had a conversation this morning that was very insightful. Definitely appreciate y'all for real. So thank you. But actually, I'm gonna be more blunt. I've been depressed. A lot has been happening. And the conversation that Vince, Drew, and I had this morning was very humanizing. I was able to cry and just let that out. And I needed that. And also thank you to you as well, because before we were recording, you said there was a lot that was going on in the last couple of weeks, and then I was just able to thank you for you having the capacity for me to open up to you, for me to cry and have that release, and then and that hug as well was very necessary as well. So thank you for that. I guess I have 3 things to share, but I'm gonna be very quick with them. So one thing I was intentional with was just opening up to my boys, because we're all in our late 20s, between Malik, Drew, and Vince, or they're in their 30s.
I was saying,
whatever,
we
young still, still young men,
yeah,
growing. And I was intentional about just let them know where I was. When Vince and Drew called me this morning, first question was, "Yo, like, what, like, how are you?" And I just came out. I'm depressed. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it there for right now. And same thing when Malik came over before we started to record. As to what's been going on in my life over the last, not just 2 weeks, but the last 3 months. And it was good to release with all of you as black men. Because the definition of a man is not what we were taught to be. It's not what previous generations version of what a man was. And we are creating a definition of that for ourselves. Indeed. And I appreciate that we are doing that. So I'm taking too much time. So 3 things I've been intentional with is opening up to the 3 of y'all in the last like 12 hours, or the last 12 hours. Vince, Drew, and I went camping. Shout out to Getaway Houses. They are all over the country. And they have cabins in the woods, forest, whatever. And you are just able to literally just get away. They have a little box where you can just put your phone in. You could just turn off your phone, but you're just in the woods, in the quiet of the woods. And I have not experienced quiet like that anywhere else. So just able to get away for 2 nights. 3 days, and just go hiking, be in tune with nature, go see sights, go see the landscapes, waterfalls, rivers, and just being in the presence of nature and like nothing else. Even there was moments where I just left my phone and I was just present with where I was at. So that was another thing. And then yesterday, so I do yoga, not consistently. I'm trying to do better with it. But yesterday I did a cardio yoga, so there was cardio and then some yoga stretches in between. And so when I go to yoga, I turn off my phone. So for that hour I'm in yoga, nothing else matters. My phone is off and I'm present in that space. And I usually turn my phone on when I get out of yoga. But yesterday I just I kept my phone off. And my class was at 9 a.m. So I went to yoga at like 8:30. Got there by 9. Turned off my phone. I got home. I was cleaning, reorganizing, doing laundry, all those things. And I didn't turn on my phone, and I wasn't even looking at the time either. I just want to be present in time. So not even the concept of time was even in my mind. And around I turned on my phone and it was 4 o'clock. I just checked in with the world just to see if anything had happened, in case someone had to reach out to me for an emergency or whatever. But then after like 50 minutes, I turned off my phone again, and I was back to doing whatever I was doing and just being present in time. And then I didn't turn my phone on again until like 8 o'clock. Then I was like kind of back immersed in the world. So it's been a lot of just isolating myself and my thoughts, and just not caring about the outside world really, and just being present in wherever I was at. So yeah,
and I'm happy for you, man.
Appreciate it,
to
bro.
disconnect and connect back with oneself, and just really just being present. Like, you know, we live in a busy world, a lot of distractions, and we can easily get pulled and drawn in, but you were able to find that for yourself. So I'm glad to hear that.
Appreciate it, bro. Thank you. And how about you?
With mine, not really piggybacking on it, but you talked about more of just like the emotional intelligence. If you think about emotional intelligence and also health.
Yeah.
Mine was kind of focused on that as well.
Okay.
I'll say one emotional intelligence aspect that really just resonated with me this past week, or just weeks in general, just advocating for myself and knowing when certain boundaries are not being respected.
Yeah.
And it can be unintentional from the other person's view. I don't want to get into all the detail. It was unintentional from the other point of view. I'll give a little background story. So it's pretty much more of a conversation about like digital marketing. I'm trying to get into that, and I was able to connect with somebody, and and I'm not saying anything against this person. If they see it, that's cool. I have no ill intent against nobody, but this person, met them in the grocery store one day. We talked about like, the tech world, digital marketing, stuff like that. And then I got further and further in the process, just educating myself on it, and then just meeting the people in the space, in the Zoom space, and figuring out what this company is about. And then they had the opportunity for me to meet some of the team, and to pretty much meet someone at their house. Exactly. They pretty much just sent this address to me and said, hey, we're meet here at this certain time.
Okay.
This here's the location, and they sent me the location day of. And I was very hesitant just because I'm just like, that's not how I move. I don't really know you like that.
Yeah.
This is not your house. Even if it was your house, I wouldn't even want to go to your house because I don't even know you like that.
Yeah.
And the only reason why I was hesitant just because I've backed out of those certain opportunities just because I felt like I wasn't ready, or if it felt like it was a scam.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
So I connected with my partner Candice. We talked about it, and the emotional intelligence part, just for me to put my pride down and like include her in the conversation, because I wanted to make the choice and decision on it just because I was a man. But realizing that we were going to be part of the same journey together, I want to make sure I was able to include her in the conversation as well.
Got it. Okay.
Because I was just like, maybe I'm just thinking this outside of the box, but I'm like, you know what? I gotta trust my gut and trust my intuition and let me know that if this is, and we talked about this before the podcast, if this is something that goes against my boundaries and something I don't value, it's not for me. It is not for me, no matter how good it may seem. And so that was a barrier and a boundary that felt like it was being interrupted, and I felt very uncomfortable because I was thinking about that for the past 2 days. I was like, if this is at someone's house, I'm not going.
Yeah.
But it's also just like, I need the money. I want to have opportunity. So like, where do you find that balance?
Yeah.
So I was very intentional about putting my pride down, think about it, pray to God, talk to my partner about it, and come to a final conclusion and just say no.
Yeah.
So that felt real good.
That's good.
And the second thing is just, I've been, I think this week makes a whole month since I've been doing like yoga and meditation and stretching consistently.
Okay.
And I've been going to the gym consistently for like 3 weeks straight.
When you say consistent, how many times a week?
4 days a week.
4 days a week. Okay.
I'll give like a quick breakdown. Monday, I either try to do, we need to get back on boxing too. Yeah, I just want to say that, get back on boxing. I try to do boxing, play basketball, just go for a walk on Mondays. 2 days, Tuesdays I work on the arms.
Okay.
Wednesdays is like back. So like, I'll say Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday is like active in the gym.
Yeah.
Monday and Saturday I'm outside.
Okay.
Or depending on the weather, I'm just relaxing. I can go for a walk or just box inside the crib.
Where?
Yeah, so I've been doing that consistently.
And what days is yoga?
Yoga every day.
Yoga is every day?
Every day. But I've been doing a 5-minute yoga.
So you're doing like all the stretches like every day?
Stretch, bro. I need a stretch. I'm getting old.
So and you sent me that video on YouTube. I appreciate that with the broomstick, and like he was on the bed.
Yo, the one on the bed works.
Really?
Yes, bro. Yes.
Okay.
My back was cracked and everything. That feels good.
I go in. Thing is, because the way that it was done on the bed, like even me just doing like doing like regular like side to side stretch, like I hear cracks. The way that this man was constructed and rebent and just like
it hurt, right?
Yeah, it looked like it hurt. I was uncomfortable doing it, but did you?
Yeah, I did it. I did it twice. I did it twice.
Okay.
My back was already it was already good.
Yeah.
But it cracked just a little bit though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it hurt, but it worked though.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Man.
I'll try it at some point.
No, for real, go for it.
Okay.
Like I think like he lifted his body up, right leg up, left arm under the right arm, and then you hear up cracking.
And that's one of in yoga. That's actually one of my favorite poses. There's a name for it. It's like it's called threading the needle. Because that's when like your arm is like going through, like it's It's whoever, but I think it's called threading.
You're laying down, you like one arm straight,
yes.
you bring the other arm across, for your shoulder.
Yes, yeah.
Shoulder and arm. Yep, I know what you're talking about.
It's called threading the threading the needle. But yeah, like you're doing the work like between you. So yoga is every day. The gym is 4 times a week. Going outside. Okay.
Yoga, meditation.
Word.
Let me also include another thing too. I'm also trying to read every day as well. Either whether it's the Bible or these other spiritual books, or I have a spiritual journal. And another journal I'm gonna put you on too.
Okay.
I'll show you later on. It's a journal for Black men.
Okay.
And it's very profound, man. It's like self-awareness, identity, and just like getting to know yourself more.
Okay.
And it's I'll show you. I don't want to talk too much right now, take up time, but like it's really dope. It's really dope.
Word.
Yeah, so I've been doing that, man. I'm strong. Feels good.
Right.
Like it feels good to have consistency in life, right?
Yeah, man. Listen, like, and even on consistency, I've been like I said a few episodes ago, but not just for the podcast, but for my real life, like being in tune with God and being in tune with serving again. So I'm the church that I attend, there is a prayer line every day. Some days it's three times a day, sometimes, or some days it's Monday through Thursday it's 3 times a day. Friday, Saturdays are two times a day, and then Sundays is once in the morning before service. But every morning I'm starting my day with prayer. I have 2 alarms, one at 6:57, another at 7 a.m. And then those go off, and then I'm on. I turn on my phone. I dial in. And then I'm on the prayer line that goes for about 15 minutes, and then from there I kind of plan my day, or I try to do something. I try to either have a book on my bedside so that I can read, or sometimes I'm just scrolling on Instagram. Honestly, it is what it is. But that's kind of just consistency. Yes. It is, to your point, it is beautiful. It's great. And I've been feeling the benefits of starting off my day intentionally with prayer. Even if I'm not necessarily praying myself, and I'm just listening, I'm taking the words of the person who is leading us in prayer. It gets me to feel, I think that's it. Just a sigh. It's just a sigh, and just, you know what? Just things are gonna be okay. For life is gonna do what life does.
Indeed.
And I'm gonna control what I can control, and then go from there.
You know, as soon as we were talking about that, you know, God brought that good sunshine on the boy.
Hey, yo,
on the men. You know what I'm saying?
Oh. Yeah. We're going to see what the edits look like in the post production. Yes.
Oh yeah, no, we shining over here. You know what I'm saying?
Shining.
Yeah, we got the light all over the place. But yeah, Anyway,
man, listen. So real quick, so on the topic of intentionality, there is this clip that we're going to just throw in somewhere here. At this moment,
we're gonna figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. But somewhere in this section, we're going to throw in a clip of, there was a interview of an artist by the name of Toosii.
Right, because I'm sure, like, is there anybody you could 100% trust besides maybe your mom and your family?
I don't even 100% trust my mom. Like, she gonna see this and be like, what? But when I say that, you got to know who to trust for what. Like, and what my mom is like, I can trust my mom. My mom a lover. You get what I'm saying? I can trust my mom in certain situations. But if it come a time where, like, you feel me, we fighting and it's going down. Now my mom could fight. She'll beat somebody's ass. But if shit get a little crazy, you feel me, Mon Dukes, you know what it is. Go in the house. You feel me? Go in the house. So certain areas I could trust her in, but certain areas I can't. And just like with love, like, yo, bro, you can't trust everybody. If you trust everybody for,
Not everybody, but
yeah, but if you, I don't know, if you trust a person 100%, that means you trust them.
you
with
think that
everything.
doesn't exist?
Nah, I don't think that exists.
It doesn't exist.
That means you
Okay.
trust them with everything.
Right.
Yeah, I don't trust nobody for with everything.
And then you
I don't
also
even trust myself.
You
all
don't?
the way. Nah, with certain stuff, nah. I don't even trust myself all the way. Nah, no.
well, damn.
Nah, yeah, you can't. Like, yo, listen, you gotta be realistic. You feel
Right,
me?
right.
In life, you gotta be realistic. I don't even trust myself all the way. There's certain stuff I don't know how to do. You feel me? And being that I don't know how to do certain stuff, it's certain stuff that I just ain't gonna do. You feel me? So
I believe that's how you pronounce his name. Yeah,
I could be wrong.
like trap R&B a little bit. Yeah, trap R&B artist, I would say.
I don't know. I've not listened to. I apologize. I've not listened to any of this man's music.
Nah, he nice with it. Though.
Is he?
Yeah.
All right, I will give him a chance. Like a lot of my introductions to artists is really through their interviews, and then that's how I connect with artists. It's not necessarily their music, but who they are
Yes.
outside of the music. Like when I
Yes.
listen to their interviews, especially when like, and not just like they're just saying like the things that are pre-scripted, right? But like they're having like real conversations. So Toosii was on Way Up with Angela Yee on Power 105.1 in New York, and the conversation was she asked him what's your like what, I'm paraphrasing, but like what's your relationship with trust, like do you trust people, do you trust like your mom, do you trust people around you? And he had a really dope answer in that he says that I don't trust anyone, or he said that he doesn't trust anyone 100%. And it was cool to think of it like that, because usually trust is seen in the form of black and white. It's either I trust you or I don't. And the way that he described it is like, no, like I can't trust everybody with everything. And like, yeah, I think everyone should know that you can't really trust everybody. That's fair. But the second part of you can't trust everybody with everything. So meaning like, you could go to certain people for certain things. Like, and we were joking about it earlier. Like, I'm not coming to you for advice about my car. If my car breaks down, I'm not coming to you.
Oh no, it's oil change and tire repairs, and that's it. Don't call me.
Do you know how often you need oil change and tire?
I think it's like every 3,000 miles. Tire rotation probably every like 5,000 something like miles like that.
Yes, it depends on
the
your car.
vehicle.
Check the mileage on your car. It is
Yes.
it is varying on the car. So that's the general
basis.
rule of thumb for all cars back in the old days. But now with newer I'm a nerd about cars.
No, that is good.
I apologize. But my modern cars, like my car currently, it's like 7,500 miles
Every 700
for oil change. Yes, 7,500 for a oil change. But it also depends on the kind of oil. We don't need to dive into all
I know
that.
what you're talking
But
about.
my
Yep,
point
yep,
is
yep.
right is that you can't go to everyone with everything, and that's what Toosii was talking about in his interview. I recently had I'm not gonna deep dive into this piece right now, but like even with me, right, I have a lot of emotions and feelings and just things that I am going through currently, and I needed to put my pride down in terms of thinking that I can force this is a family member, someone who I am close with, but they're good for like technical support and advice, information, but not necessarily like emotional support. And I was like, hey, I'm in a deep situation right now. I need someone to talk to, and this person, even me knowing that this probably would go wrong, which it did. Maybe if I go to them like really crying, like oh my god, my last legs, maybe that will change how they respond to me.
Yeah.
In my time of need. This person is more technical. The emotional side is not necessarily that. But and like even a piece of me was like, if I go to you, like I could change you in a way that like me coming to you in tears and let you know like, hey, I'm in this situation and like it's deep and like I am struggling, that they're going to like switch from that technical piece side into the more emotional, like, hey, more supportive on that front. It went completely wrong. It did not go anywhere. It's snowballed. And the situation is, I would receive worse if I felt like I should have just not gone to that person for that. And yeah, have you ever been in a situation where, and this goes back to the conversation of like, you can't trust everybody with everything, right? And it was just like, I knew I shouldn't have trusted this person with these emotions, right? That I was having, because I knew the answer they were going to give. I was hoping that they were going to give me what I feel like I needed. But I, in hindsight, need to realize that like you can't force that on people, and wherever their strengths are, you go to them for their strengths. Exactly. And wherever you think that you can kind of force on them, you shouldn't do that. But how about you?
Yeah, now most definitely. There's so many examples, bro, that I can't even like pull one from the hat from right now. But throughout those experiences, I definitely realized that when you're just so used to that one go-to person, or depending on your circle too, if your circle has like decreased, because I'm not gonna just I'm gonna use an example. I'm always gonna like focus on the black community in a negative way, but like if you think about like rappers for instance, like think about like Meek Mill or like some other rap artists, how they had their crew with them at all times, but you slowly start to see them decrease over time, because they're realizing how much values around them, how much trust they can use around them, and who can do the certain assignment that's needed. Like you said, you can't always go to this business person for like emotional advice. They may have it, but if they're only guaranteed and like certified in this one area, you go for it. And that's how it's meant for me. Like again, the emotional aspect, the business aspect, goal driven aspect, risk management aspect, like all those things. I'm just so used to just going to the people that's in my circle, but realizing that when I do ask for some type of information and looking for something to grab and where I can apply after later on, my expectation is shut down, because I expected them to set that bar at a high caliber, because I'm always dependent on you. You are this such family member, you are this such friend, you should always have the answers. And so like we talked about before, realizing when you had that, you already set in stone on your certain expectation. Like, all right, cool. Like I know you for this long. You are always the go-to. You have this mindset. You should know this. But you're on a different level when it comes to experiences and exposure. And you need more advice. So like, cool. I come to you. My expectations shut down because you say something of opposite what I'm looking for. And that's where that trust is like, again, decreased. Can't even say the word. I'm just gonna say decrease. When it's decreased, and it's like molded down, and then now you're trying to figure out who's around you where you can gather that trust again. So it's definitely very limited, but you can't put your trust in one person.
And like you were telling me earlier before we started recording, people's responses to situations is based on their lived experiences. I see both of you, Vince and Drew, all told me that this morning, that when you go to someone for help, their response is based on their personal experiences
and
fears. Fear is the root of all evil. I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna get that off one time. We could go into a different episode about that in the future. But yeah, their response is based off of their lived experiences, their fears, and their traumas as well. There's a lot that can go into that. And as people, we need to be one, when we go to people for help, or at least when I go to people for help, it's best to understand that whatever response you get may not help. It may not help, may not be, it may, even with what I thought I was gonna do with this person in terms of trying to express. I thought that things were gonna be butterflies and rainbows, and we're gonna be good. No, it went from bad to worse to what the hell, right? And yeah, and like I guess the moral of my story at this point is like just putting my pride down in that I need to do a better job of knowing who to go to for what. And I think in that moment, in hindsight, I knew I shouldn't have gone to that person. In hindsight, I would never go to that person for that thing ever again. Right. Hopefully one day we'll have a conversation about what had happened, and what I had expected and what I feel from my perspective of what had happened. But yeah, the moral is just like, hey, when I know that someone's capacity, right, is not where it needs to be for a certain situation of where my need currently is, don't go to that person. Find someone else. And I do have, and you mentioned earlier about like in life, like our circles shrink. And they get smaller, and like options are limited, but that's not necessarily my case or my situation. Like I have a pretty large group of people who I can fall on when I need support, and I just need to do a better job of picking my spots, even when I'm in moments of distress. And pause, rewind. First, go to God and just pray on it first, because I think that's the other thing too. I should have also prayed on like what was my next step, and like I hope that I have the clarity on one, who am I going, like I pray that God, I'm coming to you with this first. 1, 2, I pray that that there is a person that I could go to in this moment that you will be able to speak through. And 3, that I'll be able to articulate what my feelings are, what my responsibility in all this is, and what I need in this moment. And I didn't do any of that for that situation, which is funny because this morning I attended church, and I just cried, and I asked God for help. And then in that moment that I was asking for help, with tears in my eyes, Vince and Drew had called me, and we just had a long conversation about just everything and things that they were also struggling with. That's the thing, I don't open up, so like I don't necessarily know that we're all struggling with the same thing, or with similar things, and we're able just to connect on just like struggles and just the battles that we face day in and day out. And one thing that we're like, yo, when it gets bad, sometimes it gets worse. And just being able just to stay the course and do what you can in your power. So yeah, but thank you to my community, Drew, Alex, and Alex, Alexandra. Also, when I was at home, like I said, I was at home just in connected, and I was dealing with things, and I wasn't really trying to be around anyone. But then she had called me, see what was I up to, and said, hey, I'm around. And then we talked for a while, and that conversation was monumental to me as well. So thank you to Alex, Drew, Vince, and you too, Malik.
Big shout out to Alex.
Thank you. Yeah, appreciate y'all.
Of course, man. And the thing is too, it's like you said, you brought up a very good point, is that it's just not leaning on our own understanding. And that's something that's really, really critical, and sometimes hard to comprehend as well. Yeah. The fact that you know now that during that situation, if you immediately prayed, would have waited on God, he would have pointed someone to connect with you in that moment to figure out who's the best person that I can express myself to based on this certain situation at hand. The fact that you tried with that person, like you said, you put your pride down. You were open to, you want to try something else. You had trust, and also just want to see, there's a lot that's going on right now. Maybe I can try this with you. No matter how the situation is or how we see eye to eye, maybe I can try with you. And that's the trust that you display within that person.
Yeah.
But now and it's like, also back to on the trust concerns or just situations, that wasn't a bad thing. It's just now you realize that I can only come to you for certain, like you said, technical type things. Check off this box. All right, cool. I can come to you. This, maybe next time, or maybe not at all.
Yeah.
So going through that experience, sounds like it's definitely what's needed.
Yeah.
And like you stated about today, when you called on God, it's like you needed help. You see how quick that help came, bro.
Quick. Like I didn't even comprehend that this was happening in real time.
Yes. Like I'm not trying to put a time frame on it, but I just you wouldn't mind sharing how much time do you think was in between when you had prayed and then when you got that phone call from Drew and Bench?
Not even 5 minutes, not even 3 minutes. It was there's tears in my eyes. I can't tell you, because service had just ended, and I was just I was shaking, and then inside of 3 minutes, I was like, God, I need help. I can't do this. And then phone call within 3 minutes about.
Man, that just showing how quick God answered our prayers, man. Obviously, we have, not saying that prayer wasn't big, but obviously, when we do continue to manifest and pray within God, it just shows how much patience and trust we have to have in Him first.
First,
you can trust and love your families all you want, but you gotta trust God as much as possible.
Yeah.
And like you said before, pray for those people that you need to connect with, not just on the emotional standpoint, but anything else that you're going through, or pray for others that may need the help. May need the help to trust you even more, build more of that relationship, try to serve them, or vice versa, whatever it may be. So that trust word, just the word trust, and just because we already know we all rely on our family members and friends as at most for trust. And something that I've realized through sermon, through different prayers and scriptures, realizing that person that you may be expecting may be unexpected. It may be something that you're not used to seeing within your own framework of life. So imagine if you would have called upon that, and someone might have hit you up on Instagram just to check on, see how you're doing. It's been a couple years, and cool, this might be an opportunity for me to connect to say this is what's going on. Anything can happen literally overnight, years, month, whatever it may be. But the moral of the story definitely sounds like, and then we know that we need to put our trust in God first, and then just let Him just take course as much as possible.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man. That was. I'm glad you brought up that video though, because I'm not gonna hold you. I didn't know where that conversation was gonna lead to, but I'm kind of equating it to having a therapist.
Okay.
And I'm not talking too much about your therapy experience, but I know what you told me. If you don't mind me sharing.
Yeah.
You can go to therapy, but you gotta do the work. And doing that work, you can't always just rely on that one therapist. You can do the work and also just seek help from others. But you got to make sure you have the right avenues in place. So when you do have that work, all right, you don't trust this person. Now you ask for this blessing, this prayer. You got to put in the work to make sure that what you pray for and what you trust for also is in line with yourself and also in line with God. Because if it's not aligned, it's not going to work. And if it's not from God,
it's definitely not going to work.
Don't recycle it. Throw it in the trash, my guy. Throw it in the trash.
And sometimes we don't even realize until we are in it, and the situation had passed. But just God first, God first, God first. And that's the moral. And there's intentionality, and that's being intentional. Just God first. But you have anything else for our family and friends?
I'm gonna tie this in there because we talked a lot right before this podcast. So I see things we keep behind closed doors because it's love and unity within this brotherhood. But one thing that we kept on talking about is the battle, having strength and not relying on your own understanding. Because we talk about trust, we talk about intentionality. You can have all the trust and have all the intention that you want. But you don't lean on your own understanding, because right now in life, like you said, there's a lot of things going on in this world, man, that can confuse you, throw you off your track. People can manipulate you, deceive you, take advantage of you. but just make sure we have our eye on God, because it is a journey, bro.
Yeah.
Like, our journeys are different, but what I'm really realizing now that we are strong, we young now, young, strong black men, but we're God-fearing men.
Yes.
And our relationship is transforming before our eyes.
Yeah.
I see him differently on how he see himself.
Yeah.
He see me differently how I see myself.
Yeah.
And that's just a blessing, and it's not in disguise, because it's presented to us.
Yeah.
But just know that we going somewhere. We all going somewhere, as long as we keep putting that work in and just trusting God.
Yeah.
And it's not easy. I'm doing the work. He's doing the work, and looking different forms and shapes of life through spiritual meaning, physical meaning, mental meaning, brain work, whatever that may be. Just don't give up.
Yeah.
And this is coming from someone that had suicidal thoughts for like 20 plus years. Someone that wanted to end it all. Literally, yeah.
Wow.
I'm not holding you. Like 20 plus years, ever since probably elementary school. Yeah, I didn't know what it was. But once you identify things later on, so I don't want to talk too much.
Yeah.
Going back to this, her name is Shantia. She's on YouTube, and the one I've been sending you, she's very profound in her words, and the words are very prophetic as well. And one thing I continue to pray to God is to show me what my trauma and triggers are, and how can I identify those and heal those. Because I'm realizing now that 2023, we got to leave a lot of stuff behind.
Yeah.
And I'm getting past it now. I always think back in the past tense.
Yeah.
On how certain things shape me. Like, again, what if this, what if that? We can't hold on to what if this or what if that.
Nope.
We got to imagine the future. We got to walk in the future. We got to pray. We got to stay consistent.
Yep.
And just extend that community too, and just be God-fearing, because it will work out. Like I said, come from someone that wasn't in the right place a week ago, a month ago, a year ago.
Yeah.
Like, I sat down today, I was like, dang, like, I'm in June. Like, you know where I was at in June last year in my last job.
Yeah.
I've been through a lot, boy.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah. And sometimes it's just understanding that there is a way out.
Yes.
The how, that's up to God. But just knowing there is a way out, there is a next step, there is a next move, there is peace on the other side. It's just being faithful into God and His timing. And yeah, but thank you for sharing that, bro.
Yeah, thank you too.
Appreciate you.
We all about healing around here, bro.
And appreciate you as well. So once again, this is Put Your Pride Down. My name is Kurt.
My name is Malik.
And just continue to walk with us, to continue to thrive with us. And in the comments below, please talk to us about what is something that you had to be more intentional about, and the impacts, positive, negative, everything in between. So once again, family and friends, we appreciate you, love you, God bless, and then we'll talk to you on the next episode. All right.
Yes, indeed. Peace.
Peace.